I just had to hear all that for 5 years, really.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a bit frustrating because people that's on the outside looking in, they didn't have an idea what was really going on. But they was just, you know, making up stuff, and the media and other people that believed him was just going with it.
Yeah.
So once we got the fight over with, it was just like a sign of relief.
And before we go into that photo,
I haven't talked about that yet.
Okay, let's talk about this. Terence Crawford's a great champion as well.
Yeah.
You're a great champion?
Yeah.
First time you've seen him in a while. What did you guys tell each other tonight?
Nah, he just said something. So I don't know. Let's there from one. I like that. I like that. You the best in the business. I like that.
He been around this long.
Let's there from one. I like that.
So he know fights.
I like that.
Errol Spence rediscovered his love of boxing when he joined Terence Crawford in the gym and trained with him ahead of his fight with Canelo Alvarez.
It could happen. I mean, why not? If Crawford want to challenge himself to be great, let him try to be great. You know, so you know what I'm saying, I'm with it. So you know, I'll be going for Bud. You know, if he fight Canelo, I'll be going for him. I mean, I don't know if he gonna win or lose, but I definitely be going.
While in the gym with Crawford, Spence told a reporter that he planned to make his boxing comeback later this year, but he refused to explain.
In 25, y'all gotta stop capping on me, man. The only reason I look overweight in that picture is because I had on like 3 sweaters that's cold as fuck in Japan. Like, stop it with this shit, man. I stay fit, man. You did? Yes, sir. And
Errol Spence joined Crawford in the gym for a jog, as well as some strength and fitness workouts. That the two did not fight. They stood and talked for a bit before Spence walked out. Their partnership makes it seem doubtful that they will fight again, especially after Terence Crawford moved away from the 147 pounds welterweight class to face Canelo Alvarez.
Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. for providing us an unbelievable night of boxing here in Las Vegas.
However, many were thrilled to see the couple together regarding 2 of the best 147-pounders in history. One fan stated, and another added, "I wouldn't want a Spence versus Crawford rematch anymore, but I would like to see Spence return." The loss to Crawford doesn't suggest he's a lousy fighter. He still has some boxing in him.
I would never want to fight him coming off an accident like that, because when I beat him, then y'all gonna say it was because of the accident. He beat Danny Garcia. I was in the crowd. I said, nah, he can't beat me. That's the first time I seen Spence fight live. I said.
So you knew then when you seen that?
I'm like, yeah, because you know it's different on TV than when you watching it up.
A third Finn commented, "Spence is needed to spice things up in the 154 pounds class. We need greater activity in that area. I hope he is fit enough." Errol Spence Jr. hasn't fought since his 2023 loss to Terence Crawford. Pence and Crawford were supposed to be similarly matched. However, Crawford controlled the fight, handing Spence his first career defeat. Spence is now 28-10 with 22 knockouts.
In the fight, but I just felt like, you know, he came prepared and he was ready and he fought a good fight. He was awkward. He was patient. He was determined. He stuck to his game plan, and he did what he had to do to make it.
Spence has now said on social media that the worst thing he has done as an athlete was drink. Spence's social media post also elicited a reaction from Gervonta Davis, who will face Lamont Roach tonight. "The worst thing I did to myself was drink. If you're an athlete, focus on the ultimate aim. Hopefully, the situation is better for you and your loved ones." Apart from his setback to Crawford, Spence has had a great career. Nonetheless, his most recent performance drew a slew of criticism. Some supporters think Spence has lost his edge. Spence recently reacted to this on X, formerly Twitter, by writing, "Some of you'll use washed too loosely to post about Joel's mama, so you can see what washed really is."
Say, oh, well, he's money hungry, he's looking at money and he's trying to cash out and this and that. I've been getting money for years. I've been getting millions for years. And I'm not stupid with my money. As you can see, I don't buy no Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and, you know what I mean, walk around with 100 people around me, and I got all this jewelry that I bought.
Before losing to Terence Crawford, Spence was the unified welterweight champion, heading the WBA, WBC, and IBF crowns. Spence was the unified king from 2017 to 2023, and he hasn't fought in nearly 2 years. Spence is still 34, and fans should expect a big-name opponent when he returns as a two-weight undisputed king. Terence Crawford appears to have sparked controversy with his recent comments against his former opponent Errol Spence Jr. back in 2023. The two faced off against each other. Crawford gave a very one-sided beating on the truth. Since then, Spence Jr. has made no returns. The former unified welterweight champion had the option of invoking a rematch clause against Crawford, but chose not to do so.
He got caught. He should have boxed a little bit more, but things happen. You gotta learn from it. Definitely, it was exciting. The whole build up to it and leading up to it too. So it's something that I wouldn't change for nothing, and I'm definitely open to the rematch, and hopefully it'll be at 154 pounds.
More recently, he was in talks for a fight with WBC and WBO super welterweight champion Sebastian Fonder, but it never happened. Following repeated delays, many thought Spence would never return to the ring. Crawford, on the other hand, hit new heights. The Nebraskan is now set to face Canelo Alvarez in September of this year. While the Omaha native has never weighed more than 154 pounds, he must fight Canelo at his current weight of 168 pounds, which is a daunting job, but he is, however, sure in his ability to pull it off. In an interview with FightHub TV, Spence claimed that the 37-year-old has a chance of defeating the unified super middleweight champion. It could happen. Why not? I mean, if Crawford wants to push himself to be great, let him try. He noted, "The truth is clear that if the fight happens, he will be going for Crawford."
Not thinking about Canelo right now, but I mean, if the fight come across the table, I definitely take that fight. I feel like 165, 168, that's more my natural weight, and it's a lot easier for me to make. So I definitely take that fight.
If he fights Canelo, I'll be going for him. I don't know if he's going to win or lose, but I'll definitely be going for Crawford. Spence's first-hand experience of how dangerous Terence Crawford can be once he's in the groove. That is why I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off. He's chasing greatness, so why not? Stathead the Texan. He then referred to the career trajectory followed by Canelo Alvarez, who started his career as a welterweight. Canelo went up to 175.
I think if anybody can pull it off, he can pull it off.
Yeah.
He's chasing greatness, so why not? Canelo came up to 175 and all that, and fought Kovalev and fought the other guy too. So I mean, if he can do it, and he started at 147. So I mean, if he's doing it, why can't?
The boxing community is still discussing whether Errol Spence Jr. deserves to be inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. This topic gained traction after Terence Crawford, the two-way undisputed champion and Nan Spence's former rival, addressed it on the Pound for Pound podcast alongside Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo. Crawford stated that he could quit today and that his achievements in the sport would assure his induction into the Boxing Hall of Fame. However, he was unsure whether his old competitor would receive the same treatment, remarking, "He couldn't. Like everything that I've accomplished, he's still trying to achieve it." When pressed further, Crawford began describing Spence's work thus far.
A lot of poise, broke him down, and was able to stop him at the end.
Everybody's wondering what's going on with you and Terence Crawford. This fight gonna happen?
I think it's gonna happen. We both want to fight. I want to fight. He wants to fight, and it's going down to negotiations. So I definitely gonna get the fight this year, and we're gonna square off this year with the biggest fight in boxing.
It is the biggest fight in boxing. Where and when, if you were guessing?
I don't know where, I don't know when, but it's definitely gonna be this year.
All right, we look forward.
He only fought in one class, never unifying the belts, and he was not undisputed. Ho wasn't, but they had already referred to him as a weight bully. Correct. He beat Kelbrook despite having previously lost and suffered an eye injury, and Crabe responded trying to justify his words. Since the show aired, there has been significant criticism from both fans and experts. Former World Boxing Organization super featherweight champion Jamal Herring has now joined the debate and shared his thoughts on the subject. Herring mentioned that he loves Crawford but disagrees with his viewpoint. Errol Spence Jr. was a unified champion in one of boxing's most famous divisions. He began his long career, and Herring pointed out that Spence beat every world champion in the division to unify all of the titles, noting that none of the belts were empty, refuting Crawford's claim. Herring added that Kell Brook, Sean Porter, and Dennis Ugas were all reigning champions when he beat them. The 39-year-old emphasized Spence's wins over Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia. The latter is especially amazing given Spence's life-threatening automobile accident. Throughout his career, he packed arenas, sold pay-per-view tickets, and helped carry the welterweight class. His impact and accomplishments are similar to those of many other Hall of Famers. Herring went on to say that the former world champion stated that losing one fight to one of the finest in the sport did not negate Spence's achievements. Errol Spence Jr. is definitely Hall of Fame worthy. Meanwhile, one of Spence Jr.'s old opponents has commented on the situation. Dennis Ugas Errol Spence Jr. fought in April 2024 before Crawford ended Spence's undefeated run. Spence knocked out Ugas in the 10th round via technical knockout, leaving the Cuban fighter with a damaged eye. Despite the loss, it looks like Ugas has no ill will toward the truth, as he offered his thoughts on Crawford's claims. Even if Errol Spence Jr. retired today, I believe he would be a Hall of Famer, Ugas stated in a tweet. Much like Herring, the Cuban stressed that Spence fought back from his car crash and eye surgery to win titles. He added, "He has an incredible story of overcoming it. He severely injured my eye, but that's boxing." Lucas expressed his honor at having fought Spence Jr., but stated that he still hopes to see Spence return. "Fighters are opponents, not enemies," he declared. Since Crawford won the WBO welterweight title in his maiden fight at 147 pounds in June 2018, a TKO win over Jeff Horn, there have been cries for a summit meeting with Spence for several years. One hurdle seemed large. Rival promoters Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fought to win the undisputed welterweight championship on July 29, 2023, in front of a sold-out crowd of 19,990 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, sparking speculation that Spence would be a Hall of Famer. Crawford dominated and won the fight with a 9th-round technical knockout, becoming the first undisputed welterweight champion since 2006 and the first male boxer in the four-belt era to achieve undisputed title status in 2 weight classes. Crawford's knockout win was his 11th straight finish, with 9 of them coming in the 6th round or later.
There too, did you feel off physically or anything, or what was wrong in the fight?
Yeah, felt a little off physically, but most times I get through it. So, I thought it was gonna be just like the other times, but I couldn't kick it up a notch.
This, however, was the most remarkable of them all, as Crawford delivered a boxing masterclass, almost dominating the fight from the time he downed Spence in the 2nd round. That was a strange position for Spence, who had not before been dropped once in his great career. By the end of the fight, Errol Spence had fallen 3 times. A similar story to Devin "The Dream" Haney, who was dropped 3 times and wrote about the first loss of his career. Crawford won the bout with a staggering 60% power blows and 42% jabs. His 87 hit jabs were the most by any Spence opponent. Spence dominated the fight early on, dictating terms and applying pressure, while Crawford stayed back and waited for the right time to counter, as he did late in round 1. While neither boxer had a standout showing, Spence overreached on one occasion, causing Crawford to react with a powerful left hand. It was only a preview of the type of chess battle that was expected in the early rounds, with Crawford renowned as a deliberate, sluggish starter and Spence more likely to try to set the tone. Spence was able to achieve precisely that again in the 2nd round with his movement, solid jab, and unrelenting pressure causing issues.
I'm about to take my belt off then.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Errol?
You gonna need more than the belt. I don't know what you talking about. I ain't one of your kids.
I'm
you
gonna
gonna
treat
need
you.
more than the belt. I ain't one of your
I'm
kids.
gonna treat you like one.
Yeah, all right, we gonna see.
All right, we definitely gonna see.
And there they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the main event of the evening. Brought to you by Premier Boxing Champions. 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world.
However, a straight left power jab from Crawford caused Spence to drop for the first time in his career in the waning parts of the 2nd round. Crawford's power began to show in the 4th round when a big overhand left and a series of brutal jabs landed and hurt Spence, capping off an incredible start for the 35-year-old that continued into the 5th, with Crawford once again backing Spence up with his accuracy, speed, and textbook counterpunching. In the end, It was a matter of when rather than if the fight would conclude with Crawford felling Spence twice more before earning a TKO win in round 9. I only wanted to be a world winner. I am an overachiever. Nobody believed in me when I was starting out, but I made everyone believe. Crawford stated after the bout, "I'd like to thank Spence and his crew. I told him that without him, none of this would be possible for me here tonight." He added,
I got feel for his power. Probably like first, second round. He's a strong dude, but everybody at this top level have some type of power. But I think because my time was out, he was catching me in between shots.
I get to say I told y'all because I've been asking for these fights for years, and y'all been saying, "Oh, he's too small. He's gonna get this. He's gonna get broken." And each and every time,
it signifies everything because of who I got the belts from. They tried to blackball me, keep me out, and talk badly about me, and they said I wasn't good enough to beat these great welterweights. I just kept my head to the sky, praying to God that I would have the chance to show the world how wonderful Terence Crawford is. And I feel I did tonight.
What is he Australian?
Who?
What's his name?
Ja Opataya?
Opataya.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he Australian or he's from like...
What's the same weight class though, right?
No, it's cruiserweight.
Oh, he is
cruiserweight.
Yeah, he is cruiserweight. Yeah. So, I think that this fight's on time for both of them guys. Everybody wants to see Benavidez in the ring with Canelo, as do I. But I don't think Benavidez.
Crawford showed his jab's effectiveness, with Mike Tyson describing it as a battering ram that continued to connect and pressure Spence throughout the fight. "He's a wonderful talent. He has just got a great jab," Crawford said of Spence. Since Crawford won the World Boxing Organization welterweight title in his first fight at 147 pounds in June 2018, a TKO win over Jeff Horn, there have been cries for a summit meeting against Spence for years. One hurdle seemed large. Rival promoter Crawford will have to make a substantial weight jump for the battle, which many think will be a problem for him. 2020 Olympic silver medalist Richard Torres Jr. has now expressed his view on the issue.
Put it all on the line, round of applause to both Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. for providing us an unbelievable night of boxing here in Las Vegas.
That ring like a ring at though.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I want to bring up, he is the first male boxer.
Torres Jr. is impressed with Crawford's strength and mensch and the time they wrestled, and he is sure he will get the job done. Speaking pleasantly to Sean Ziddle, Torres Jr. added, "I'm Team Crawford, but I'm a die-hard Canelo fan, but with that stated, I'm moving more toward the USA, but I'm looking forward to the fight after seeing his experience wrestling Crawford." Torres Jr. said,
Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya in his prime, you can't, so who else is there right now in that stratosphere other than Canelo? There is no one else. Tell me.
No, you got people that's approaching it.
Who's even approaching it? At 54
not at 54. I'm just saying people in boxing. You got Inoue.
Benavidez is approaching it. I think Inoue, a big boxing event, commands.
If you were to get it done, how do you get it done?
Is that what you said?
Yeah, if you were to get it done against Canelo, how does Crawford get it done?
The thing with Crawford, which is pretty cool, is he can kind of transform seamlessly and do different things in the ring, which is pretty cool for him. Like for an example, he can box from the...
It came out a time back. Oh, Crawford defeated Richard Torres in wrestling. And I heard a couple of views on that. I just want to bring out that I had no idea we were wrestling so hard. We were wrestling in his kitchen when he remarked, "Let's see what we got." That concludes the most current updates on boxing news, moments, events, and activities. Stay in touch with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to enable notifications to be informed when we release quality videos like